Well, Shadur Sanders was on the board for the Steelers at number 21, and they decided to go win now, baby. And I love the pick. Derrick Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon, is a Pittsburgh Steeler. And throughout the course of today's instant reaction video here on Steelers Talk, I'm going to be breaking down the profile of the newest Steelers DT and why I absolutely love this pick for the black and gold. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already to join us here and for more pick cuts throughout the NFL draft. Derrick Harmon, man, this is somebody that I've had my eye on this entire draft process, and he's going to be your long-term solution to the Cam Hayward issue here, where he's got 2 years left, and Derrick Harmon's going to have 2 years to work behind him and work alongside him in this defensive line rotation. And last year, Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton, they ran out of gas a little bit, and they got rid of Larry Ogunjobi this offseason. They needed somebody to come in that could help in their five-man fronts, be a starter in that kind of formation, and then also be a rotational piece in their four-man fronts as well. Get after quarterbacks, make tackles for losses. This guy had 55 pressures last year, man. This guy is so quick with his feet and with his hands that he gets into the backfield very, very consistently. Now, if you want to look at the downside of Harmon, is he's got a very high missed tackle rate, but a lot of that is because he's in the backfield so quick that the running back runs past him and he doesn't have much of a chance to recover and then get him on the ground. Like, this is the type of player that just wrecks games, that gets after quarterbacks before they're even all the way down through their drop. And that's the type of interior lineman that wreck games in the National Football League. Of course, Omar Khan and Andy Weidel, the GM, assistant GM combination here, are kind of forming this team in the Howie Roseman style and vision of building an NFL football team. If you know anything about the Eagles and how they're run, they draft trenches. In the last 2 years, it's been offensive trenches for the Steelers, taking Broderick Jones and Troy Fautano. This year, they go defensive trenches with a DT in Derrick Harmon, which I absolutely love. So grade the pick for me down there in the comment section. Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. For today's draft pick here, Derrick Harmon, DT out of Oregon, is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. Like I said, this will be the pinned comment on today's show. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds, and when that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. All right, so let's talk about what Dean Brugler has to say about Derrick Harmon. Says Harmon is a highly active and disruptive big man who consistently finds ways to gain freedom from blocks. As a penetrating pass rusher and run stuffer, he projects as a scheme-diverse NFL starter, anywhere from 1 to 5 technique. Now, I disagree that he's going to be, especially over Keanu Benton, their nose tackle in their 5 down front. I think they're going to want him in more of a disruptive, penetrative type of role. And, the concern with Harmon is the shoulder issue. And the Steelers have shown time and time again, guys, especially in the Omar Khan era, that they don't really care about these medical red flags. They took Corey Trice Jr., they took Troy Fautano in the first round last year when he had medical red flags with his knee. And both of those guys had injuries in their first year in their NFL careers. And Corey Trice Jr. got hurt again last year. Now they're taking Derrick Harmon, who got flagged from some teams with a shoulder issue. Some people even thought he was going to fall outside of round 1. But Harmon is the guy here that has a chance, if he stays on the field, like Fautano has to be for the right tackle spot here in Pittsburgh, really, really good, all right? Like Fautano, his film is excellent. I'm really excited to see him play, and I do think that it's the right move for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll talk about why they didn't take quarterback and why they went with a win-now move here and what's next for the Steelers at the quarterback position momentarily. But before we get into it here, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Game Time. And guys, I'm someone who really likes to go to baseball games on the weekends to take my mind off of Aaron Rodgers and Shadur Sanders and all this different stuff going on with the Steelers quarterback position. And whether I'm here at home in Dallas, Texas, and I'm going to go see the Rangers play, or whether I'm back in Minnesota with my family watching the Twins play at Target Field, or whether I'm in Pittsburgh watching the Pittsburgh Pirates at beautiful PNC Park, Game Time allows me to get the lowest price tickets possible to let me go enjoy my first love, which was baseball, as often as I really want. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Steelers Talk by Chat Sports and makes getting tickets to any live event faster and easier all on your phone. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. guys, you can get, like I said, lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event on this app, and it's super easy to use. The interface is really easy to use. It also has some really great features like Game Time Picks, which does the research for you to find the best possible seats to you at any event you want to go see. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code ChatSports for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So you guys can see here the production from Harmon and kind of what I'm talking about here. He had more pressures, more tackles for losses, and more sacks than Mason Graham, the guy that the Cleveland Browns took at number 5 overall this past season. So that tells you how disruptive of a player this is. Now, Graham doesn't have the same shoulder injury issue that Harmon does, but if Harmon stays healthy, and maybe that's a big if, but if that is the case, he's got a chance to be a really, really special player and a true replacement for the impact that Cam Hayward makes every single Sunday for this defense when he eventually retires. Now, I do think that this was the correct pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers, not Shedeur Sanders. All right, and I've been saying it on the show for a long time. I thought that the Steelers' interest in the Steelers was a smokescreen and trying to get teams to trade ahead of them. Seems like that was the case because they had the chance to take Shedeur Sanders and they didn't take him, which means they didn't think that he was capable of being a franchise quarterback for this team, and I agree with that evaluation. He doesn't have high enough upside to be a developmental type quarterback, and I don't think he's pro-ready enough to draft in the first round as your day one starter. So I think that, with it sounds like and it feels like with this selection, the Steelers really think Aaron Rodgers is going to sign with them. And if he doesn't, they're perfectly fine signing or trading for Kirk Cousins to be their starting quarterback next year. And that reflects the win now mentality that they have trying to get Cam Hayward a ring before he retires. Take a look at the 5-man front for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Before the draft, it was Daniel Ekuale who was slated to be the 5 tech in this spot. But now I think Derrick Harmon is going to get in this rotation very quickly. Obviously, with nickel really dominating the NFL, the Steelers are in a 4-down front where, of course, Cam Hayward and Keanu Benton are the starters more often than not. But Harmon is one of the best rotational DTs in the entire league, as far as I'm concerned, on day one, as long as he's on the field. And then, like I said, long-term, you have a plan at this position. For a positional group here that is super, super important to Mike Tomlin and his defense. So last year, I think this unit got a little gassed come playoff time. Now that you have some really, really great depth at this position, in my opinion, you're looking at a really big strength for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Now you got a lot of depth at outside linebacker and a lot of depth along the defensive line, which I absolutely love. And I also want to give credit here. Andrew Filipponi had this report weeks ago, saying that the Steelers were targeting Harmon. So, hey, credit where credit's due, Pony. You finally got one. So who will be the Pittsburgh Steelers' next pick? Do you think Tyler Shuck or Jalen Milroe falls to the Steelers at 83? Do you think the Steelers trade up for the quarterback of their choosing? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Who will be the Steelers' next pick when they get to number 83 tomorrow night? So really do appreciate your guys' support. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter. I'm going to be putting up a lot of film analysis tomorrow on Derrick Harmon, showing you guys why I'm so excited for him to be a Pittsburgh Steeler and why I think that this was the right selection for the black and gold heading into 2025. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. Don't forget to click that subscribe button for more extensive draft coverage every single day here on Steelers Talk. And until next time, guys, here we go.